Political consultant Michael Geoghegan is joining us now from Victoria in British Columbia. What do you make of this debate now, Michael? The NDP says this is a mission without end.
Well, it's a mission with a one-year extension, but in terms of actually getting to a resolution in the Middle East, I would say that mission is probably something that's going to go on for decades, many decades to come. In terms of the politics around this, clearly, this is a very strong wedge issue between the Conservatives and the opposition Liberals and NDP.
We know that the battle against ISIS, and not just Canada, of course, Canada's contribution is fairly modest, but the larger picture here is going to be a long one, no doubt will take years. So in the NDP calling for the government to make a quick military exit, how realistic is that?
Well, I don't think it's very realistic. First of all, in terms of a diplomatic solution, how do you have any kind of diplomacy with a group that's as nihilistic as ISIS, right? There is no diplomatic solution. In terms of humanitarian aid, how can you provide humanitarian aid when you have no control of the area? And ISIS has made it clear that they're quite willing to grab aid workers, kidnap them, and then behead them and put the videos all over the internet. So again, that's a non-starter. And clearly, in terms of the mission against ISIS, they are moving a lot of their heavy equipment over to the Syrian side. And Canada, I think, quite logically, wants the ability to go after them in that area, so they do not have safe haven, and so that we can from the air destroy a lot of their military infrastructure.
Michael, what are the politics playing out here in this debate?
Well, it's it's one where basically for those that are concerned about what ISIS is up to, which a vast majority of Canadians are, even NDP and Liberal supporters are, they want to see ISIS get pounded. So it's an issue that it's the one issue the Conservatives have where there's a clear popular sentiment amongst the Canadian electorate. So it is of benefit to them in terms of taking this action at this time.
Does that make it dangerous for the NDP to come out so strongly against this?
Yes and no. First of all, in terms of Quebec, it helps shore up their support in Quebec, because as we've seen since the First World War, Quebec, out of all the Canadian provinces, has the least appetite for military actions. And so it's a thing which will help shore up support in Quebec, but it probably won't help them get votes outside of Quebec.
And where does this leave the Liberal Party of Canada?
Well, again, it's one of those things where, as is the case with the security bill, Bill C-51, it's a situation where, they're seen more in line with the NDP than the Conservatives, but they are trying to fall somewhere in the middle. And again, it's a situation where it's hard for Trudeau to carve out a credible position in terms of this issue without appearing, weak or vacillating. So, the Conservatives have very much, hip checked the opposition parties into the boards on this particular issue.
Political consultant Michael Geoghegan joining us from Victoria. Good to talk to you again, Michael. We appreciate it.
Thank you.